Hello, and welcome to the Probe Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can direct your questions to a specific school or leave a general question for all of our representatives to answer for you. Your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions that are happening as a part of the programming. We hope you'll sign up for additional sessions to learn about more great schools. This presentation, as well as all presentations, are being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you signed up, strivescan.com/probe. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters. The first school we're hearing from tonight will be Loyola University, Maryland.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate the introduction. Thank you all so much for taking some time out of y'all's busy schedules to learn a little bit more about your college choices. So Loyola, we are a smaller liberal arts school. We're Jesuit Catholic. Any Loyola that you see, any school that has Loyola in its name is going to be Jesuit. St. Ignatius Loyola founded the Jesuit order. And we're in Baltimore, Maryland. And what I like to think about Loyola, Maryland is that it really hits the best of both worlds in a lot of different ways. So I think it offers the best of both worlds in terms of campus life versus access to a city. I think it's the best of both worlds in terms of having a really individual one-on-one academic experience, but having access to a wide variety of majors and minors. And then kind of a best of both worlds in terms of getting that really solid foundation academically, but giving you access to a lot outside of the classroom as well. So Loyola, we are in Baltimore, Maryland, like I mentioned, but we're about 10 minutes north of the downtown Inner Harbor area. So much more suburban feel right around campus. It's that traditional college campus centered around a quad. And the longest walk that you would have on our campus would be about 10 to 15 minutes from one end of campus to the other. So really campus-based feel. We have about 4,000 undergrads, so kind of on the smaller side of that small to medium-sized university. And it is very campus-based, like I've mentioned a few times. You're only required to live on campus your first year, but the vast majority of our students choose to remain living on campus for all 4 years. It's 82% that choose to do that. So I think that speaks to the sense of community that's on our campus. Princeton Review also rates our dorms 10th best in the country, so people don't want to leave those. And sophomore year onwards, you're living in an apartment style dorm anyway. So most of your friends, your colleagues, your classmates are going to be on campus. So if you're interested in kind of having that really campus-based experience, but maybe you don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere, Loyola could be a really good opportunity because it offers that campus, but getting into downtown Baltimore is really accessible and easy as well. A few statistics, if you're a numbers person. Again, we just have just under 4,000 undergraduate students, which means our average class size is very small. It's just 20, as you can see. Student faculty ratio, if you prefer that, is 12:1. And all of our courses are taught by professors. So we don't have teachers' assistants or grad students teaching our classes, nothing like that. So you get a lot of one-on-one time with your professors, and you really get an opportunity to develop relationships with them, which obviously helps during your 4 years at Loyola while you're learning, but it also really opens the doors for things like research and internships and jobs after graduation too. We are a Division I school. We compete in the Patriot League. Of course, we have club and intramural sports as well, and a lot of different student-led clubs and organizations. Since most of our students do, again, choose to live on campus, that means that there's a lot to get involved with on campus. Again, you wouldn't have to leave campus to find things to do and to get involved and have fun, but keep in mind, getting to downtown Baltimore is just a 10-minute car or Uber ride away. So really best of both worlds there. And then speaking of the world, most of our students study abroad. 2/3 of our students will study abroad, which is huge. That's really just about as high a percentage as you'll see. So it's something that every major can do. Financial aid follows you abroad, so it is something that every single student can do, regardless of major or background. And it's something that we really strongly encourage. If you know anything about the Jesuits, I'm sure education comes to mind, but I'm sure travel in the world and going out and taking what you're learning in these very small professor-led classrooms and then going out into the world and doing some good with it. We are a liberal arts school, like I've mentioned, so you don't need to know what you want to major in right away. You won't declare a major or minor until your sophomore year anyway, but we do have a really wide variety of majors to choose from. We have a very strong pre-health program. We have pre-law. We do have business. We have engineering, which isn't always the case with a liberal arts school as small as we are. And that has 4 different pathways within engineering: psychology, forensic studies, really all of the things that I get asked about most often by high schoolers, potential college students, we offer. And then we also give you the time and the flexibility and the one-on-one advising to help you make a really well-informed decision that second year. So if you know that you want a really one-on-one education, you want to know your professors, but you might not know exactly what you want to major in, but you still want a lot of options, Loyola Maryland could be a really good opportunity for that. Quickly, in the last 30 seconds or so that I have, I know this is a year away, but just some really quick information about our application process. We're on the common application. We don't have early decision, that binding agreement. We just have early action and regular decision. You're automatically looked at for merit-based scholarships, and most of our students do receive aid from us. And then the very last thing I'll mention before I turn it back over to Jennifer is that we're a test optional school, and we've been test optional for a decade. So really holistic review process, nothing at all changed for us this year. So if you like what you've heard, definitely look into more information on Loyola Maryland. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and the best of luck with your college search. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for sharing Loyola University Maryland with us tonight. Our next school is going to be the Athens College of Ministry.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. Good evening, students, and thanks so much for tuning in. As she mentioned, I am with the Athens College of Ministry, or ACMin for short. The Athens College of Ministry is an interdenominational Christian college in Athens, Georgia, and we're actually pretty new. We started in 2012, so we're just over 8 years old, and we provide both undergraduate and graduate degrees for students. So whether you're looking to pursue a 2-year associates or a 4-year bachelor's program, we offer a variety of options. And we like to say at the Athens College Ministry that we're a little bit different than other schools. One of those reasons is that we try to provide a holistic approach to how we educate our students. And I'll unpack that more here in just a second. But also, we want to make a difference in our students' lives, in our community, and around the world. And as you can see here, our website is listed www.acmin.org. Feel free to hop on there and check us out. So I wanted to start with just providing our mission statement. Our mission at the Athens College of Ministry is to be a biblically grounded, Holy Spirit empowered, fully accredited Christian college that prepares men and women who will teach, reach, lead, and minister to others out of their identity in Christ through relational, hands-on training for leadership in the church, in the marketplace, across the globe. It's a great mission statement, but obviously a mission statement is only as good as you're able to walk it out. And so I'm looking forward to telling you a little bit about us here. As I mentioned, we try to provide a holistic approach in how we equip and train our students. And so that looks like a head piece, a heart piece, and a hands piece. So the first piece of that obviously is the head. It's the academic, the intellectual side of school. And so we're really committed to preparing our students for success in life and leadership. And we're here to help our students meet their life and career goals at the same time. As I already mentioned, we provide both 2-year associate's degrees and 4-year bachelor programs. And right now we have 8 different majors that you can major in, everything ranging from care and counseling to biblical studies, to music and worship arts, to transformational leadership. So depending on what you're looking to pursue, chances are we probably have something that will fit what you're looking to do. And I want to mention this as well. It's a new opportunity. We have a 5-year accelerated Master of Divinity program. So for those of you who are looking maybe to go into ministry or potentially even becoming like a pastor or something like that, you can actually get both your bachelor's and your Master's of Divinity degree in 5 years, which is awesome. The second piece I wanted to mention is the heart piece. Our motto is to train leaders to reach the world for Jesus. As I mentioned earlier, we want to make an impact in our world. And so at ACMN, we really focus on equipping our students to know their identity in Christ. Again, as a Christian college, we believe it's just really important for students to both know God and know themselves properly. And we believe that when this happens, it really does lead to healthy longevity in your career, and it just gives you the opportunity to positively impact others for good. And then the third piece is hands. We at the Athens College of Ministry really try to encourage a culture of service. And so AC Men students will receive practical hands-on experience in their career ministry field. And we just believe strongly in getting your hands dirty. And so we do that through a variety of opportunities. One of those is service opportunities. So we do a one-day service event called Serve Athens, pictured below. We gather together different churches and businesses and organizations, and we do different service projects around the city just to bless our city in any way that we can. And so our students are out there getting involved. It's really incredible. And then we also encourage students to do service hours each semester. And so whether that's through community events that we put on, or whether that's through something of their choosing, students are always serving at the Athens College of Ministry. Another option that we provide is mission trips. We do a one-week mission trip to Boston, Massachusetts every year. And so we partner with some folks up there to bless their city, which is really cool. And then lastly, for all of our majors, every student is required to do an internship before they graduate. And so again, we just believe firmly in students getting practical hands-on experience before they graduate and before they go off into the quote unquote real world. So that's awesome as well. And I just want to highlight that we're local, we're engaging, and we're affordable. We're only 15 minutes from downtown Athens. Athens is a great city, a great place for students to live. And so whether you're living in Athens or not, we do provide online options for students. And so you could even do your degree program or some of your courses online with us. But obviously it'd be great if you decided to move to Athens so that you could attend in person. We're engaging. One of the benefits of being a small school is that the small class sizes really maximize teacher-student interaction. And we just heard a lot of really good feedback from our students that their time in the classroom has been life-changing and how they've just been able to interact really closely with professors and also with fellow students. And then lastly, we're affordable. A total cost for tuition is only $295 a credit hour. And there's no additional fees outside of the application fee. And so it's a fraction of the cost of what most schools cost. And we just believe firmly in students not accumulating student debt before they graduate. Even with that said, we do offer financial aid for students who need it. And I think it's just over 80% of our students receive some sort of financial aid. So we just say, hey, we don't want finances to be a reason that you don't attend AC Men. So with all that being said, I just want to invite you to consider joining us. Feel free to hop on our website there, www.acmin.org. You could even fill out an application or something like that. And if you have a question, you can put it in the Q&A or shoot me an email at afields@acmin.edu. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex, for sharing AC Men with all of us. Our next school tonight is going to be the University of Michigan.
All right, everybody, let me start presenting. My name is Amy Ruff, and thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for the Georgia Probe College Fair. My name is Amy Ruff. I'm the Regional Recruitment Coordinator for the University of Michigan. Just as a reminder for you all, you are able to utilize the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen to ask a question of us at any time. So be sure to include which school you're directing that question towards as well, so we can answer it for you. I appreciate you all joining us virtually, and I'm excited to share about the University of Michigan. We are an institution located in Southeast Michigan in the city of Ann Arbor. We're often recognized as one of the best college cities and the best cities to live in the US. It has a wonderful blend of student life and vibrant town life just beyond the campus. We've won a number of accolades, as well as being one of the most educated cities in America, one of the best college cities for students to go to college in, as well as one of the best college towns people love to visit, as well as one of the best places for student entrepreneurs. We do attract students not only from all over the country, but also all over the world, which contributes to our diverse student population on campus. We have an undergraduate population of about 31,000 students coming from every county in Michigan, every state in the US, and over 122 countries across the globe. And our students are not just geographically diverse, but they're also culturally and racially diverse. 16% of our undergraduate students are actually first-generation college students. And all of this diverse population contributes to Michigan being ranked as one of the top global universities in the world. Last year, we did receive about 65,000 applications to the University of Michigan. This year, it is over 70,000 to fill an incoming class of about 7,100 students. On the screen, you can see our average GPA and test score listed, but keep in mind our admissions process is holistic, and we are evaluating both quantitative and qualitative factors when considering students for admission. We have a strong commitment to our undergraduate students in providing educational opportunities through our 14 undergraduate schools and colleges on campus, with over 280 degree options to choose from, and ensuring that our students have the ability to connect meaningfully with their faculty members and also their peers by keeping our student-faculty ratio at 15:1. Beyond the classroom, we provide students the ability to engage in enrichment opportunities such as study abroad, project-based teams, including options to explore entrepreneurship with over 30 student groups dedicated to that area, as well as research. Speaking of research, we are recognized as the top public research university in the country, and as well as one of the top universities in the world. Undergraduate students have many opportunities to pursue research as soon as their first year at Michigan, either through our Michigan Research and Discovery Scholars Program, which we call MRADS, or our Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, which we call UROP on campus. Approximately 1,300 first-year students do engage in these programs to learn more about research their first year on campus. So living on campus can be a great part of the Michigan experience, and about 97% of our first-year students choose to live on campus. We also offer 22 living and learning programs for students to find other students who might share similar interests to them. Living on campus looks a little bit different this year as we reduced our campus density, but we're hoping as the pandemic continues to improve that we'll be able to welcome more students back to our campus. Michigan does offer our students over 1,600 clubs and organizations, everything from student government to first-generation engineers, music ensemble organization, and club sports, just to name a few. And you also can't talk about Michigan without talking about athletics. Varsity athletics is a huge part of our tradition at U of M. We have 29 Division I athletic teams, over 20 intramural sports, and a storied tradition of championships on campus as well. Once you become a U of M student, you actually have access to one of the largest alumni bases in the world that are 630,000 people strong at this moment. So you can see some of our most notable alums outlined on the screen, including former President Gerald Ford, CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Sanjay Gupta. So if you've been watching CNN amid the pandemic, his face might be very familiar to you, as well as the co-founder of Google, Larry Page. So I hope you guys all learned a great deal about U of M today. And if you do have any questions, go ahead and submit them in the Q&A area and I'll answer them for you. But thanks for joining us, and go Blue.
Thank you so much, Amy, for presenting at the University of Michigan. And I also appreciate all the reminders about the Q&A. We have reached our halfway point. And just as Amy was saying, we have, we've got that Q&A. We would love to see more questions in there for our representatives. We've heard from 3 great schools. We have 3 more to go. So you can ask for the schools that have already presented. You can ask schools that are to come. Remember, you can direct it to a specific school, or you can just answer a general question and have everyone weigh in about that question from the perspective of their institution. So definitely check out that Q&A. All right, well, our next school tonight, we're going to be heading to Georgia to hear from the Georgia Institute of Technology.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And just to reiterate what she said, definitely utilize that Q&A. It's a great resource. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone real quickly. All right. All right, so hi everyone, good evening. My name is Alexis and I am a senior admission counselor with Georgia Tech. Now I hope you guys can see my screen. Here I'm just going to leave this up. It's just great one pager, so to speak, that will give you some overview, some facts and figures, and I'll kind of elaborate on all of that as I'm going through. Really just want to give you an overview of Georgia Tech and some of the updates in our application process this past year. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and share with you a bit more about Georgia Tech and who we are as an institution. Now, Georgia Tech was founded in 1885 at the end of the Civil War with the purpose of educating engineers that would design, build, and run the factories that would help the South move to a more industrialized society. Atlanta was actually burnt down to the ground during this time, so this really triggered the need for mechanical engineers to come in and rebuild the city. Today, we still really live by these original ideas of working to improve the human condition through our motto of progress and service. Now, one of the most distinguishing factors about Georgia Tech is the number of majors offered. Though the 36 span a range from public policy to computer science or modern languages to biomedical engineering, what's really unique about Georgia Tech is that all of our degrees are Bachelor of Science degrees. Each and every major is really focused in that research, technology, and innovation. And that's something that you can't really escape as a student at Georgia Tech, right? It's at the core of who we are. We're also big advocates of students participating in hands-on learning. So academics beyond the classroom is a big experience at Georgia Tech. Now you may ask, how do students go about this concept of applied academics, right? Well, a lot of our students will participate in work experiences like co-ops and internships. And over 50% of our students will also have an international experience where they will study abroad. And there's also a number of undergraduate research opportunities as well. Now, it's important to understand that at Georgia Tech, this leap from entrepreneurship from research to entrepreneurship is not large. Through programs like CreateX, which aims to build entrepreneurial confidence in students, and the Adventure Prize competition, which is basically Georgia Tech's version of Shark Tank. There are a number of opportunities on campus that allow students to pursue their own opportunities and development and startup experiences. Now, academics, huge part, right? But it's not just about academics at Tech. It's also about what's available on campus and through many organizations, as well as the immediate resources by being in the heart of Atlanta. And actually, as you can see behind me, that is Midtown Atlanta, which is right at Georgia Tech's campus. Of course, this year has felt a bit different because of COVID, but students have still been given a number of opportunities to engage virtually. And this has still allowed them to find a sense of community throughout campus. Now, more than ever as well, the value of college education is really important for families. So one thing that I really like to mention whenever we talk about Georgia Tech and what really sets us apart from other institutions is our starting salary of around $74,000 for our undergraduate students. That's on average. Now I'm going to jump to the admission process. I know it's a lot of information so far. Like I said, there have been some changes that happened to the Georgia Tech application process this year. But first I'm going to run down through the components themselves. There's academic preparation, and this is the rigor of your academic experience. So we're going to be looking to see what sort of courses were available to you, whether it's AP, IB, dual enrollment. What was available to you and what did you take? We want to see how you pushed yourself academically speaking. Now, this concept of contribution to community, that's going to be your activities. And this is where we're going to look to see your involvement outside of the classroom. Maybe it's through sports, maybe involvement in your community, maybe you have responsibilities at home. The next component is the personal essays. This is really your chance to tell us something about you that we haven't otherwise known about you from your application. This past cycle, we've only used the 2 short essays rather than the long essay as well. But the key takeaway from this component is this is your chance in your own words to tell us a bit more about who you are as an individual. Now we'll jump to recommendations. We'll ask for 2, one from a teacher in a classroom setting, and then one from your college counselor. And then for test scores, SAT and ACT was optional this past year. Whether that will be optional for the upcoming year, still to be decided. But a good thing to note is that Georgia Tech has never heavily relied on test scores. So we're confident in making decisions with or without those scores. Then this last area is this concept of institutional fit. And these are really the intangibles. We're looking to build the most diverse cohort possible. And what we mean by that is we want a group of students who have a diverse background, diverse range of interests, diverse goals, and so on and so forth. The last thing I'll touch upon is the financial aid opportunities. There's a number of financial aid resources, scholarships, outside scholarships that are available to students. So I definitely encourage you to look into those on our website. And definitely encourage you to attend one of our info sessions or go to our website for more info. I'm going to go ahead and jump to this slide here as well, because this will give you a great chance to kind of connect with us virtually. And at this point, that is the end of the Georgia Tech portion, and I want to thank you for your time. We're offering so many virtual visits, so definitely, again, make sure you take a photo of this. It's a great resource, and feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. And go Jackets!
Great, thank you so much, Alexis, for sharing more about Georgia Tech. Our next school today will be the Chattahoochee Technical College.
Okay, everyone. Hello, my name is Jamie King, and I am a student outreach specialist here with Chattahoochee Technical College. And thank you so much for having us today. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Chattahoochee Tech. So Chattahoochee Tech is your 2-year technical college. We are the largest technical college here in the entire state of Georgia. We do have 8 different campus locations, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We have a 98.7% job placement rate, which is great. That is really amazing for students who attend Chattahoochee Tech. That simply means that they are graduating and getting jobs in the industry that they went to school in. We also are ranked #1 with our LPN program in the entire state of Georgia, and we have the #3 nursing program here in the entire state of Georgia as well. We also offer several different program opportunities that you can earn 100% online. So you can earn your degree 100% online with us here at Chattahoochee Tech. And we do have over 14,000 students right now that are both studying virtual as well as in person. And we are following all of the CDC guidelines, of course, this year and last year. So we have students that wear masks and are socially distanced. So you don't have to worry about anything of that nature if you do decide to attend Chattahoochee Tech. This is just a glimpse of the 8 different locations that we do offer here in the metro Atlanta area. We do have 3 locations in Cobb County, Georgia. We also have 1 in Dallas, our Paulding campus. We have 1 in Acworth, North Metro, Woodstock, Canton, as well as 1 all the way up in the mountains. That is our Appalachian campus. Now, our Austell campus is more of our corporate training location, so students are not taking classes there. However, you can choose any of the other locations to take core classes, and I will talk about and touch on those core classes in a minute as well. But we also offer different occupational courses. They are campus specific, but we do have a great career guide that can let you know which program is held at which campus. But it is very accommodating for students. We do have both day, evening, and even some weekend class options. So it really fits in any student's schedule. Okay, we also have an articulation agreement here with the University System of Georgia. So that means that these 28 courses listed here today are transferable. Many students do decide to come to Chattahoochee Tech first so they can save money on the front end, get some of those classes out of the way, like those core classes, maybe get their GPA up so that they can get into a school that is local here in the state, like one of those 4-year public colleges or institutions in the state. Now, with these 28 courses, like I said, they are guaranteed to transfer to any one of those 4-year public colleges here in the state of Georgia. They even sometimes transfer out of state. and even to private institutions as well. So this is really a great opportunity for any student who's trying to save money to come to Chattahoochee Tech first and then go on to that four-year college of their dreams. Now, Chattahoochee, we do not have dormitories. However, we do have a really great campus life. The reason we don't have dormitories is we are trying to keep our costs low, but students are getting the opportunities to study abroad. We have several different activities that occur all throughout the year, like multicultural events, social activities, leadership programs as well. And then we do have intramural sports. So students are able to still participate and have a great time here at Chattahoochee Tech. We even have an office called the Office of Student Resources, where they can offer a multitude of different resources to students to help them be successful while they are here on campus. So they do offer things like book vouchers and bus passes, things of that nature, and they can help you with any of your needs. We just also have the pantry now that we are offering students different types of groceries, things of that nature, whatever they need to help them be successful while they're here at Chattahoochee Tech. We really want you to know that you are here, you're home, and you are a family member at CTC. You're officially a Golden Eagle, and you're a part of our family, and we want you to be successful and to go out into the world and really thrive. We also have several different clubs and organizations. We do have a club associated with every different program that we offer. And we have clubs like the Rhodes Hall Alpha Physical Therapy Assistant Club, Sigma Alpha Pi, the National Society of Leadership and Success. And we also have things like the Black Student Union. So we have lots of different options for students to get involved, to find individuals who have their common interests, and really stay connected while they are on campus. Now at Chattahoochee Tech, we do offer certificates, diplomas, as well as associate degrees. Our certificates can take anywhere from 8 weeks to a year to complete. The diplomas are a year to a year and a half, and then the associate degrees, of course, are 2 years to complete. As I said earlier, we do have more than 50 different programs of study in health sciences, business and technical studies, as well as arts and sciences. And when it comes to tuition and fees, we are one of the most inexpensive colleges here in the entire state of Georgia. This is based on 15 credit hours. It is only $18.60 per semester if you are in state, $33.60 for out-of-state students, and just $63.60 for international students. Now, most of our students rarely ever pay those tuition costs that you just saw on the last screen because they don't really need to. We do offer financial aid. Now, students are never going to get student loans here at Chattahoochee Tech. That's another thing that is really not needed. We do offer students those federal Pell Grants, which is that money that you do not have to pay back, but we do take the Hope Scholarship. So that's 85% off your tuition, and also the Zell Miller Scholarship as well. But we also have something called the Hope Grant, which is just like the Hope Scholarship, but it's only exclusive to technical colleges, and you don't even need a GPA to get the Hope Grant. As long as you're taking the programs that are under the Hope Grant, you will receive that in your financial aid package. So that takes a portion of that cost right off for you. Then we do have the CTC Foundation, where we offer need-based as well as academic-based scholarships, and that is our personal foundation through Chattahoochee Tech. And we do have the Hope Career Grant. That is a grant that the state of Georgia has actually invented for students who are looking to go into those high-need career areas. There's so many careers out there for individuals to get into. However, there's not enough professionals who are qualified to actually take those jobs. So the state is literally paying students to go to Chattahoochee Tech for free. So that is a great opportunity for any student who wants to attend college and is worried about the cost. You can look into the Hope Career as well. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jamie. We've hit the end of our time. Just want to remind all of our panelists too, don't forget you can drop some information for our representatives or for our attendees to grab and get to your websites or to be able to contact you afterwards as well. And students, thank you, and other attendees, thanks for jumping into the Q&A. We are now coming up to our last school. So we are going to be hearing from Franklin and Marshall College next. And don't worry, the Q&A is still open and all of our representatives are still keeping an eye on that. So please drop your questions there. Matt, take it away.
Hi, thanks, Jennifer. My name is Matt Arant. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission here at Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I'll just spend a few minutes kind of talking about where we are, first of all, academics, campus life, and kind of wrapping things up with the application process with financial aid. So I mentioned we are a undergraduate residential liberal arts college, about 2,400 students from 48 states and 44 countries, pretty significant number of international students. Per capita, one of the top 10 schools in the country in terms of international students, around 20%, give or take. Also pretty significant numbers of Pell eligible, first gen, as well as domestic students of color. So F&M is a very diverse campus, not only in terms of geographics, but also race, ethnicity, as well as socioeconomic status. So we are located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Just a quick geography lesson, about an hour, 15 hour and a half west of Philadelphia. So very much the east central part of the state of Pennsylvania. We do have an Amtrak station within walking distance of campus, which can get you to 30th Street Station, which is the main Amtrak station in Philly. That can then connect you to New York, DC, Boston, all those major East Coast hubs, while still maintaining that residential small college town feel. So we're located in the city of Lancaster, about 60,000 people as well. Also a short walk from campus. Lancaster's got a lot of publicity in terms of its burgeoning food scene, really eclectic kind of downtown in terms of food, art galleries, businesses. I kind of describe as kind of a hipsterish enclave in the middle of Amish country, because we're very much in that Pennsylvania Dutch part of the country, but still having a really kind of unique downtown area, which our students would take advantage of, both in Lancaster County as well as Lancaster City. So in terms of academics, we are all undergraduate, so no graduate students, no TAs or GAs. You're taught by professors and professors alone. Average class size is about 17. Student faculty ratio is about 9 or 10 to 1. And all these courses are largely taught in the seminar as opposed to lecture style. So it's very much an active rather than passive learning environment. You're not sitting in a big auditorium listening to a professor talk for an hour. It's very much engaging with their fellow students as well as faculty members too. And this applies to all of your courses, not just those for your major or upper level courses. So essentially every course is a seminar level course. In terms of majors, we have over 60 to choose from. Biology, business, psychology, government, econ are kind of our top 5 or 6. We have over 60 majors to choose from, 12 languages. We also call it a special studies program, which you actually create your own major from scratch yourself. It's really interdisciplinary in nature and very flexible for you to really craft that academic plan that's right for you. Additionally, you don't declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So you don't apply to F&M as a bio major or a neuroscience major. You apply to the college and then get those 2 years to figure out about your academic passions as well as academic strengths. In terms of kind of the research aspect, so a common misconception against liberal arts college is that research opportunities aren't available at these institutions, only largely given to the larger research universities, whether public or private. At F&M, 2/3 of our students either do independent study, which is a one-on-one course with a professor, or do research with the professor as well. And this transcends all majors, not just the lab sciences or quote unquote hard sciences. It can be into the humanities, government, fine arts even. It really is a way for you to kind of supplement your classroom learning with more hands-on experiential education. In terms of the campus life, so I kind of break this down largely along athletics as well as our housing. So F&M is a Division III institution. So we have 27 sports, 25 of which are Division III. We do have D1 wrestling and the non-divisional squash. We are part of the Centennial Conference, which is one of the strongest Division III conferences in terms of both academic success as well as athletic success. So it's largely liberal arts colleges in the state of Pennsylvania as well as Maryland. So 27 sports, 25 D3. We also have club intramural sports available for you as well. In terms of housing, we have what's called College House. It's really kind of a unique factor that F&M offers students. We use the analogy to Harry Potter in terms of how students are kind of sorted into one of 5 college houses. So every student, upon enrollment, is sorted into one of 5 houses, and then you're sorted based upon the connections course that you sign up for. These are a version of first-year seminars. And although you largely only live in a college house your first year, it's very much a 4-year experience in the fact that you graduate alongside other members of your college house. So it really is that first kind of foray in what the F&M community looks like is through our college house community. In terms of postgraduate success, we have what's called the Office of Student Postgraduate Development, OSPGD, or OSPGD for short. This is our campus-wide hub for internships, networking, alumni connections, shadowing. And the big thing about OSPGD is the proactive nature of the building on campus. It's not just for juniors and seniors, it's for all students. So if you have a sense of what you want to study and also what you want to do after graduation, you really utilize those services as soon as you walk onto campus, really building that foundation for long-term success. In terms of what that looks like numbers wise, 97% of our most recent graduates within 6 months are either pursuing further education or work. And we also show you where they're going to work as well as where they're studying. And you can actually see that on our website broken down by major as well. So you can see how many of our neuroscience majors are doing post-grad research stints, how many of our business majors are going straight into the workforce, how many are going to MBAs, things like that. You really can see a breakdown of what that process looks like for our students post-grad. One final point about the application process, it's holistic as well. And financial aid, we do not offer any merit-based scholarships. However, we do meet a 100% demonstrated need all 4 years for our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt, so much for sharing more about Franklin and Marshall College. Well, we've reached the end of our formal part of our presentation tonight, but we do have a few minutes before we close out and wanted to give everyone a last chance to think about Q&A questions and to maybe learn a little something extra about each of our schools. Could I have each of the presenters, all 6 presenters, come back on screen real quick? And we are going to share with everyone watching either live or on video. If you can each share a favorite event or campus tradition that just gives a little bit of extra peek at the student experience on your campus. And we'll go in the same order in which you presented. When the person ahead of you finishes, just feel free to turn on your microphone and answer away. So we'll start with Loyola University, Maryland. Nathaniel.
Thanks. So every spring at Loyola, we have a big concert, and it's called Loyola Palooza. Just like Lollapalooza, a bit of a tongue twister, but it's real fun. It's a really good kind of campus-based experience, and it just can't be beat.
Alex, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I already mentioned this in my presentation, but we do a variety of community events each year. And definitely by far my favorite one is Serve Athens. And so like I said, that's that one-day service event that we do. We're out in the community. We have students and staff and faculty, and then just folks in the community that are serving alongside us. And it's just really cool to see folks from different backgrounds and all of that rubbing shoulders with one another and serving together. Even with COVID, we were able to have some folks serving with masks on and socially distanced and that kind of thing outside. And it's just really awesome, especially with everything going on this past year, to see everyone serving together. So definitely Serve Athens.
There are a lot of traditions at Michigan, but I think one of the ones that I think will resonate most with prospective students is we're a large university, and each year, the first week of school, we have something called Festifall. So another kind of tricky word. Festifall is an opportunity for first year students and returning students to get exposed to everything that we offer at Michigan. So all clubs and organizations are on the quad, and you can walk by and have conversations and really try to figure out what you're super interested in, maybe discover something that you've never been exposed to before. But it's a great way to start engaging with the community, and Festifall really kicks off the school year for us. So it's a favorite of our first year students.
Awesome. So at Georgia Tech, my personal favorite tradition is the steam whistle, and this has been around since the founding of the school. Today, it blows to signify the change of one class to the other, and I can even hear it all the way from here, which is a 30-minute walk from campus. And it also signifies, during any football game, when Georgia Tech scores a touchdown, the steam whistle will blow. So I think that's a very great, unique tradition at Tech.
At Chattahoochee Tech, we have something called the International Festival. I really love it because it gives students an opportunity to just see all the different diverse cultures all over the world. And it's a great community event for family and friends to attend as well. And we just really have a really good time and get to just love on each other and just understand each other and how our different cultures make us all really just one big happy family.
At F&M, we have what's called Common Hour, which is probably, a lot of schools probably have something similar to this, in which the college essentially shuts down for an hour. We have speakers from all walks of life, both international and domestic, and there's really a way for the whole campus community to come together That's usually on Wednesdays when school is normally in session. We had to adjust that based on COVID, but it really kind of brings speakers from all walks of life. It's really driven by students and faculty members as well. They can request a college or a common hour proposal through our campus as well. So it's really community driven in that sense.
Oh, I love hearing about all these little traditions and events. I want to go look them up, and I hope it inspires our attendees and those watching to want to go check them out to see if they can envision themselves as a part of each of these awesome schools that we've heard from tonight. So we have reached the end of our time together. I want to say thank you first to our panelists. Thank you for sharing not just the facts and figures about your schools, but also just the passion you have for your students' experiences in and out of the classroom, and all the hard work you do helping families and students through this college search journey. Thank you to everyone who took time to watch, whether live or the recording. We hope this inspires you to check out these schools, learn more, ask questions, and reach out to these amazing campus admission counselors. When you close your window tonight, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, just a reminder, this is one of many sessions that are being hosted. So we hope that you'll sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week's time, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all session recordings at strawscan.com/probe, the exact same website where you register. So thank you again, everyone, and best of luck in the college search and decision process. Thanks again, and good night.